Good morning, everyone. I'm joined by Mayor Evans. I do have a brief prepared statement, and we will take some questions. Please know, it's very early in our investigation, so obviously some of the information is going to be limited as far as what we can give out. Is anyone live? Okay. Yes. Very good. So what began last night is a night of live music and fun for the performer Glorilla ended in tragedy with one person dead and two more fighting for their lives. Last night, the Main Street Armory hosted a concert with the main performer, Glorilla. Just after 11 p.m., as the show ended, concert goers began heading toward the exits to leave. As people began to exit, the crowd began to surge and rush toward the exit. There are some reports that shots were heard, causing the crowd to panic, but that has not been confirmed. Officers that were detailed outside of the venue were eventually able to make their way inside, where they located 3 females with significant injuries. RPD officers, security, and EMS personnel provided life-saving measures on the 3 females before they were transported to Strong Hospital. Sadly, one of the victims has passed away, and 2 others are currently in critical condition, still fighting for their lives. As the night went on, an additional 7 people arrived at local hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries from the event. Preliminary reports from people at the scene indicate that these injuries were caused from people being trampled. We do not have any evidence of gunshots being fired or of anyone being shot or stabbed at the scene. Investigators from Patrol Section Investigations are currently assigned to this to investigate the incident to not only determine what happened, but to bring accountability to those who were culpable for last night's tragedy. We are hearing many reports of potential causes, including possibly crowd size, shots fired, pepper spray, and other contributing factors. Our investigators are interviewing surviving victims, other concert goers, security, and anyone else that has potential information as to what led to the tragedy last night. We are working with the City Fire Marshal's office to help determine the number of concert goers related to the capacity of the venue. In addition, we are working with various other licensing agencies such as Code Enforcement, the New York State Liquor Authority, and Corporation Counsel to verify compliance with regulatory safety measures and to hold those who were not in compliance accountable for their actions. Anyone who has video or pictures from last night or wishes to provide us with any information can help us piece together what happened. We encourage you to call 911, or there's an email address, and I'm sure this is going to be on Lieutenant Bellow's release, but it is psi@cityofrochester.gov. I'll hand this over to the mayor, and then I will come back for a few questions.
Thank you, Chief. Last night, the Chief and I were on the scene after this tragedy took place. But first off, let me say that my heart, Rochester's heart, and the prayers go out to the victim that passed away last night and those that are fighting for their life. This is a tragedy of epic proportions, and it's something that all of us who love concerts worry about. I am a big concert guy. Anyone that knows me well knows that I will go to concerts all around the country to see my favorite artists. And I will tell you that when you go to a concert, you do not expect to be trampled. Your loved ones expect you to be able to come home and talk about the experience that you had at that great concert. And what I saw last night in the aftermath of what happened at this concert breaks my heart, and it is totally unacceptable. I want to be clear. We are nowhere near completing this investigation. As the Chief said, this will require a lot of work from multiple agencies throughout the city, not just the Rochester Police Department, but my corporation counsel out of the mayor's office, as well as he said, the fire chief. We are going to hold people accountable for what happened last night, period. When you put on a concert in this city or anywhere around the country, you have to make sure that all I's are dotted and T's are crossed. Now, it's too early to say what precipitated this, as the chief said, but I intend to get to the bottom of this because we will see more concerts in Rochester. It's what we deserve. We deserve to be able to have good entertainment. And I also want to let the folks know who were impacted by this, those who had to run out at the end of the night, that lost shoes and clothes and, and other things, that we are also thinking of you. Because you should not go to a concert with the thought of being trampled. So I ask for thoughts and prayers for the families and for the victims. But more importantly, I ask for anyone, because I know everyone carries a cell phone. Everyone has these things in their pocket, in their live recording device. PSI at cityofrochester.gov. PSI? PSI at cityofrochester.gov. We want to see any photos, videos, or things that you have that might be related to this concert, to Glorilla. I mean, this is a popular artist. Now, I'm more old school, but Glorilla, as my tweens tell me, is a extremely popular artist. And when you have a popular artist like that, you're going to have a large crowd. So the question will be, were the appropriate actions taken? Too early to say, but I will tell you that we have a history in my administration of holding venues accountable. And that will happen in this case, once a thorough investigation is complete. But it's very important that we not conjecture, that we not guess, that we not put out false information. This just happened this morning. We were just on the scene. So there will be a lot more that will come out. But the most important thing right now is for us to offer our thoughts, prayers to those who have been victimized by this, and then equally as important, PSI at cityofrochester.gov. If you got pictures and video, I saw some stuff on Facebook. So if anybody that has any pictures and video, send those over to PSI at cityofrochester.gov to help us get to the bottom of this tragic situation. Chief?
Thanks, Mayor. I mean, I'm sure almost everyone in this room has probably attended a concert or two at the Armory. It's a very popular venue. Lieutenant Bello is very fond of going. You know, just as I was there last night, I was thinking about just a few weeks ago, one of my tweens attended an event there as well. So it's definitely something that we can all relate to. I'll take a few questions again.
I have a question for the mayor, actually. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'll take a few questions, or we'll take them together. Again, just please remember, it is very preliminary, so may not have specific information, or I just may not give out specific information. I don't want to speak erroneously. As we all saw over the weekend, there was already enough disinformation on the internet about the RPD, so I certainly don't want to, speak and give wrong information. You have one for the mayor? I'll step aside.
Mr. Mayor, I know it's early in the investigation, but the Armory has a full slate of shows both this month and moving forward. Does the city have the power to shut down the Armory while the investigation takes place?
The city, my office in the city, the Corporation Council office has the ability to shut down any establishment in the city of Rochester while investigations take place. And let me be clear also, but remember, this will involve multiple organizations: the Corporation Council, Code Enforcement, the Rochester Fire Department. I see Deputy Chief is here. Rochester Fire Department. This will involve code. This will involve a multitude of organizations. State Liquor Authority. All those things. And in order to perform in the city of Rochester, you have to have live performances in the city of Rochester. You have to have an entertainment license. In order to have an entertainment license, you need to meet proper specifications. All these things will be looked at. The most important thing, I love music, I love concerts, but the most important thing is the health and safety of the residents of the city of Rochester and people attending concerts. And if the health and safety cannot be guaranteed, you will not be having a show in this city.
You mentioned the attorney being...
Who are you reaching to?
Lawsuit?
I said, who's your question? Me. Okay, the mayor. Yes. Question.
You had talked about having...
Corporation Council.
Right. So it sounds like there may be something going on that would require a lawsuit or possibly suing?
No. Every city has a Corporation Council. The Corporation Council is responsible to make sure that venues follow the laws, rules, and procedures of that city. So that's why Corporation Counsel gets involved. But that's across every city. Every city has a Corporation Counsel. That's the purpose of that.
Is there a possibility of a lawsuit if, like I've heard, fireworks may have triggered people?
Who knows? I mean, that's not for me to say in terms of lawsuits. That's up to, I think, to the individuals and their attorneys if they were decide to be able to do something like that. But again, I can't speak to any lawsuit that individuals may bring. That's something that's separate and apart from the city, and you probably would have to talk to individuals that attended that concert. Yeah.
Can you talk about the scene when your officers arrived, what they were experiencing, what they had to weed through, to help out the victims?
Sure. I just want to follow up on the first real quick about Corporation Counsel. So entertainment licenses are issued by the Office of the Chief of Police. So Corporation Counsel's role is usually to counsel me if we have decided that there is possibly a reason to, revoke a license, to make sure that they act as the attorney for the police department to make sure we're on legal grounds. If we're going to take action, would be their main role. But most of those licenses are issued through my office or the State Liquor Authority, as it would be for the ABC law. The officers last night, I have to say, did a tremendous job. I was there, shortly after with the mayor, so the crowds had gone, but I had the opportunity to watch the body-worn camera footage, and for the officers and AMR and security to be able to get in there and actually render aid in the midst of a crowd that was still trying to exit the building, trying to funnel out those doors and aid these initially 4 people that were down. Truly incredible work.
You know what the capacity is at the Armory?
Approximately 5,000, but again, that'll be something for the Fire Marshal's office to follow up.
So as of right now, the show on March 11th will take place at the Armory.
I'm sure you just heard my last.
Well, you didn't commit to whether or not.
I am not committing to any shows anywhere while an investigation goes on. But remember, this happened at 11 o'clock last night. We still have a lot of information and things to comb through. So I can't commit to anything. But as I said, I'm going to go back to my previous statement, and you can rewind the tape, that if there is an active investigation, there will be steps that we will have to take at any venue at or in the city of Rochester, including the Armory. So in terms of a show that's taking place, 5 or 6 days from now, we can't comment on that, but I'm sure that information will be coming out soon as to whether or not that show will take place. But we can't guarantee anything right now. The only thing that's guaranteed is death and taxes. Somebody having a show somewhere in the midst of this tragedy, we shouldn't even be asking that question.
Well, no, I didn't ask it for the thing at the show. I mean, if we're having an investigation, will the Armory be shut down until the investigation concludes?
I'm sure we'll have more information on that later today, but I'm sure you could use your best judgment. I think that the most important thing right now is for us to think about the victims, and then we'll deal with the Armory situation on whether or not they'll be open later. It's all part of the investigation, obviously.
When was the last time the Armory had an inspection by code enforcement?
Chief, do you know that?
I don't know that specifically, and again, I wouldn't want to give an incorrect answer. So, thank you, everybody. We'll keep you updated through the day.